Un reporte de Kevin Seifert en febrero de este año puso en común una peligrosa y poco alentadora noticia para la NFL. En 2022 las conmociones cerebrales aumentaron un 18%. El mayor dolor de cabeza de la liga continúa siendo la fragilidad del cerebro de cara a practicar este deporte. Pese a que se han cambiado algunas reglas, mejorado los cascos y refinado las técnicas de tacleo entre estos deportistas. Según datos publicados por la propia National Football League, hubo 149 conmociones cerebrales sufridas en 271 juegos de esa temporada. Estas lesiones presentaron un incremento del 18% respecto a las cifras de 2021 y un 14% más que el promedio de 3 años atrás, entre 2018 y 2020. Los aficionados a veces somos muy duros con el jugador. Vemos una tacleada normal y pensamos que ellos podrán levantarse siempre, pero la verdad es que el fútbol americano es un deporte muy demandante. Y pocos son los que obtienen el éxito a cambio de darnos un espectáculo que pone en riesgo sus mejores años de vida. En respuesta a esto, la liga decidió apostar nuevamente a mejorar el equipo con el que juegan sus estrellas, y en esta temporada baja han aprobado un nuevo modelo de casco para los quarterbacks. Es elaborado por la empresa Vices y lleva el nombre de Zero Two Matrix Quarterback. El diseño de este casco es especial, hace énfasis en que está diseñado para proteger la cabeza de los jugadores al caer al terreno de juego, y así prevenir conmociones. El casco Zero Two Devices ha sido nombrado el mejor clasificado según numerosas pruebas de laboratorio hechas por la NFL. Es un 15% más ligero que la versión Zero One. Tiene una máscara facial de acero inoxidable. La capa exterior del casco es deformable, esto con el objetivo de absorber la fuerza de un impacto en el punto de contacto, sin llegar a la cabeza del atleta. Así que parece ser una apuesta interesante. Sin embargo, algo curioso es la advertencia que aparece en la propia página de la empresa Vices. Antes de que existieran estos avances tecnológicos, e incluso antes de conocer los daños permanentes a los que se exponen estos jugadores, la salud era algo secundario para la NFL. De hecho, el intro de Monday Night Football, que es de los shows más importantes en la televisión de Estados Unidos, comenzaba con dos cascos chocando entre sí.
Los Raiders and the New Orleans Saints on ABC Monday Night Football.
Entonces, si anteriormente no se trataban las consecuencias del deporte, el juego era más violento y los jugadores no estaban tan bien informados, ¿qué pasaba cuando un jugador recibía un golpe que le causara una conmoción cerebral? Vamos a revisar 3 testimonios reales de 3 exjugadores de la NFL que narran su experiencia con este padecimiento. Notarán seguramente que lo describen como algo abrumador, extraño y últimamente terrorífico. El caso de Thomas Jones. Jones fue corredor de la NFL durante 12 temporadas. Jugó en 5 equipos diferentes: los Cardinals, los Buccaneers, los Bears, los Jets y los Chiefs. En 12 años de carrera acumuló 10.591 yardas por tierra, 68 touchdowns, 2.023 yardas por aire y promedió 4 yardas por acarreo. En una entrevista para brainline.org, Thomas contó su experiencia siendo jugador en la NFL y lo que fue para él estar expuesto ante tantos golpes en su carrera.
So you've had a concussion, you really, can't imagine how that feels. It's like an out-of-body experience. That's really what it is. I've had times where I've been hit immediately, and I've seen stars like in the cartoons, where you'll see stars. I've been hit where I've seen black spots. I've been hit where I see 2 of you. So I see you're here and you're here. And I have to try to put you back together. I've had times where I've been hit and I literally have been in the game, and the coach or the quarterback or somebody was talking to me, and I literally was just, I'm hearing you, but I'm not listening. And I'm running the plays, like, and honestly, those are some of the best games I've had. Those are some of the best games I've had. It's almost like you have a remote control to yourself. It's the most, it's strange. You know, when a lot of people say, you know, you're in the zone, he's in the zone. You know, in football, you know, a lot of times, I think, especially for a running back, it's because you've had some sort of hit over the course of the game to where some part of your brain has taken you to a different dimension. And I can't explain it. You know, I had one game where I think against Buffalo, and I had 200 yards. And I was hit early in the game. Maybe on the third carry of the game, I was hit. I ran a toss, and I was hit, and I hit my head on the turf. And I ended up with 210 yards and like 20 carries. And so most of the plays I didn't even remember until I saw the game the next day. Seen guys, I don't know, countless guys get knocked out right in front of me, bang. And the first thing that you usually see is it's almost like their body and soul, when their soul left them. You know, because it's instant, boom. And then it's almost like, okay, soul comes back in, body, and then kind of go back. It's crazy. It's crazy to see it. I mean, I've seen guys get hit, get a concussion, and you look on their face, their contacts laying on the side of their cheek, bleeding from the nose, bleeding from the ear. I mean, it's tough, man. It's tough. It's serious. Concussions are serious. But we're just trained. We're warriors. We're trained to keep playing, to fight, keep fighting, keep fighting, keep fighting.
Caso número 2. Chris Nowinski. El caso de este hombre es muy particular, ya que primero fue jugador de fútbol americano sin llegar a ser profesional. Se mudó de deporte a la lucha libre, que como sabemos todos es un deporte espectáculo, donde los resultados están pactados, pero las caídas y golpes son reales. Y sobre todo, los accidentes en este medio se pagan muy caro.
Started probably with soccer when I played kindergarten through 8th grade, and then I transitioned over to football. So I played both ways in high school, never left the field, and then was all-Ivy defensive tackle at Harvard University. Never had a diagnosed concussion in my entire soccer or football career. Although now I know I had them, I just never thought twice about them. I found that caught up to me when I became a pro wrestler with WWE, which I did for about 3 years, about a little over a year on Monday Night Raw. And I had to stop from a concussion I got in June 2003 where I got kicked in the head and immediately, was confused, forgot where I was, what we were doing. We got through the end of the match, but I had a headache that just wouldn't go away. And unfortunately, I didn't realize that was a big deal. I thought, there are guys out here wrestling with torn ACLs and fused necks and all sorts of pain. And all I had was this kind of throbbing headache and a little nausea when I got my heart rate up. And I thought, that feels like the flu. And I've wrestled with the flu before, so why can't I wrestle with this? And so I kept lying about how bad I was in wrestling for 5 weeks. It only stopped when, out of the blue, I developed sleepwalking and injured myself, acting out a dream, and jumped off a bed through a nightstand in a hotel. And only then when I woke up on the ground, like having no idea how I got here, that's when I realized that I'd probably done something to my brain that I should be honest and get it checked out. And better now, but I'm still permanently damaged, and I can tell. And the concern now is, will I develop this disease, or do I have this disease, chronic traumatic encephalopathy, a degenerative brain disease we're finding in the brains of former athletes that we used to call punch drunk, which means that right now my brain's rotting away. People say, well, you look fine. I'm medicated to look fine. I still deal with way more headaches than I should. I still can't get my heart rate up. I can't sprint without getting sick. So I every time I play sports, I'm at 85%, and I never try to push past that, or else it costs me a couple days of headaches. And I don't know what that means. It doesn't even, no one's ever been able to explain to me why that is, but it means that something's wrong up there.
Caso número 3. Troy Aikman, el 3 veces campeón de Super Bowl, leyenda consagrada del deporte e ícono de los Dallas Cowboys, vivió uno de los episodios más oscuros en su carrera en un partido por la Conferencia Nacional, donde los Dallas Cowboys se vieron las caras contra los San Francisco 49ers en 1994. Fue durante una jugada de derrota donde el quarterback, Troy Aikman, recibió un golpe brutal en la cabeza con la rodilla del defensivo Dennis Brown. La conmoción de Troy fue tan mala y tan grave que no pudo volver al partido. Fue llevado de inmediato al hospital, y ahí es donde su agente, Leif Steinberg, conoció la peor cara de este deporte.
I went to visit Troy, who was sitting in a darkened hospital room, all alone.
The room is dark because Aikman can't even stand looking into the light. It's this sort of surreal scene where the city is celebrating and the quarterback who won the game is in the hospital with his agent.
He looked at me and he said, "Lee, where am I?" And I said, "Well, you're in the hospital." And he said, "Well, why am I here?" And I said, "Because you suffered a concussion today." And he said, "Well, who did we play?" And I said, "The 49ers." And he said, "Did we win?" "Yes, you won." "Did I play well?" "Yes, you played well." What does that, and so, what's that mean? It means you're going to the Super Bowl.
5 minutes later, they're sitting there, they're continuing to hang out, and Aikman suddenly turns to Steinberg and says, "What am I doing here?" And the next thing you know, they're reliving this conversation they'd had 5 minutes earlier.
For a minute, I thought he was joking. And I went through the same sequence of answers again. And his face brightened and we celebrated again. Maybe 10 minutes passed. And he looked at me with the same puzzled expression and asked the same sequence of questions. It terrified me to see how tender the bond was between sentient consciousness and potential dimension confusion was.
Si te gustó este video y te pareció interesante, dale like, suscríbete a hutnfl y sígueme en mis redes sociales que aparecerán abajo en la descripción. Será entonces, hasta la próxima.